everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. It is almost February and I'm so glad. January is a long month. February feels long too, but at least it's actually a short month. So when it goes long, it's snowing today and it's cold. At least it's a tad on the sunny side. I can't tell if it's sunny. January's been terribly gray here. And I can't tell if it's really kind of sunny or if it's that glare that's kind of coming off the snow. But I'm done. I'm done with winter. February has Valentine's Day, but I have some cute decorations, but really, you know, when you've been married for a trillion years, it's not even that great of a holiday. And my daughter doesn't live at home, so there's no like little Valentines that you make for school. Can we just skip the summer? But before we get going on today's video, which is my club preview for February, at least it's a new month, a new club. We got that, right? A couple of things I want to point out. If you watched this video on, I think I posted it maybe on Friday of last week, I let you know that these dies were on low inventory. They are on back order now. They will be back. So they come back in, I looked on the weekend. I think they sold out. A ton of you bought them, so I'm glad a lot of you got them before they did go on back order. I think they're doing like the end of March, maybe the third week of March. I can't remember for sure because I looked on Saturday evening, I think is when I checked. But they'll be back. So you can still select this paper as a freebie because the dies will not be back before the paper is gone for celebration. But I did want you to know that while it's showing they're not available, they will be back in time that you can get them, but just not before the paper is back. So when you watch this video and I tell you they're on low inventory, that is no longer correct information, but there's no way for me to go back and correct that now. Then if you're in my card club and you were in January, those videos have posted. So here's a quick look at the card club videos for January, and we did By the Bay. So those are up and you have those and your packet should be to you. If you don't have them, they should be to you any day. Then I did a couple with the Share a Milkshake bundle. If you are in Card Club for February, this is not Card Club. I'm going to show you Card Club now, but you are going to get, I think it will probably, I can't talk, probably be an 1/8 of a packet of this celebration paper in with Card Club, and that's just a bonus. And it works really well with the Share a Milkshake bundle. So this month, as just an extra bonus, every single month as part of my Card Club, my members can buy the set that I'm featuring. They don't have to have the set. They may already have it. They may have something that's similar. They may just not like it, so they can substitute. For example, the By the Bay. If they didn't get that stamp set, although the vast majority of them did, it was probably the largest majority of sets that I sold as add-ons of anything that we've done. But on the flip side of a lot of that paper, there were birds and there were shells. So a lot of times there's stuff that you can cut out. And this month is flowers. So I know a lot of you have flowers because Stampin' Up, we do flowers so well. We have beautiful flowers. But the milkshake's kind of unique. So you might not have any kind of an ice cream set. And while it has a Valentine in it, it is not a Valentine set. It's obviously an ice cream set, but it does go with this paper. So for this month, I have 2. And the way I'm going to do it is, this is our club set. This is just a bonus. And part of the reason I'm doing it is because it goes with this paper, which you're getting, but it will also, if you get both sets, it will bump you to $100 option for a celebration choice. And all of it will be explained on our club webpage. And if you are on my email list, then I'll send you that link. So it's just a fun way. Everybody in club will get the videos on the extra projects that go with this. If you buy the milkshake bundle, then you'll get the supplies, the cardstock and stuff to make, and it will have ribbon. You'll have to use your dies and you'll have to use your paper to cut them out and to do it, but you'll get the supplies that you need to make those 2 additional projects if you buy the bundle. All that will be explained on the page and in the emails that you get. So what do you get for club this month? We are going to use the Regency Park Suite collection. Every month, my card club is an automatic, set up through PayPal subscriptions. It's the cheapest thing online class that I do. It's $38. PayPal takes it out every month. You do not have to have a PayPal account to sign up for it. They just host it because they have a subscription service. So you can pay with whatever credit card you want. PayPal's a super safe method of doing it. And so you just sign up, and then whatever day you sign up, like if you sign up on the 8th, then the 8th of every month or about then, like February is going to mess this all up because it doesn't have 30 days. So sometimes it adjusts a little bit, but it takes that out. And then if you want the add-on, you just pay for that. And I have a different way that you just pay for that each month. Always by the 10th, you have to sign up. If you've already signed up, it just goes. You can pause or cancel anytime. And then you just add it on. And then always, on my add-ons, if you add on the adhesive pack, if you add on the stamp set or the stamp bundle, then I always pay your shipping, handling, and tax. So it's just catalog cost for that. And it will be that way this month with the Share a Shake. And then always during celebration, you get celebration add-ons too if you're at the higher levels. So that's what it's $38. You get almost always, it can be tweaked a little bit on some months, but almost always a full spool of ribbon, a full packet of embellishments, and usually a half a packet of cardstocks. You get the supplies to make 6 projects. We do 3 designs, 2 of each, and then you get 6 envelopes. So this month, we're doing the Regency Park Suite. This is the project I'm going to show you today. So you would get this times 2. You'll get a full packet of the adhesive backed Milky Dots, a full spool of the what's it called? Night of Navy Blue ribbon. It's got a word. It says bordered ribbon. I don't think that's what it's called in here. Bordered ribbon. I thought it had a name. It's beautiful ribbon. It looks like it should be denim, and it looks like it's hard. Not hard at all. It's beautiful. And then you're going to get a half a pack, and this is a 6x6 of the Regency Park designer series paper. Super fun paper. And it does not look like snow. It looks like spring or summer, and it's really, really fun colors. I pulled out all of the ink colors. It's Balmy Blue, Mango Melody. Well, it's probably down here. Petal Pink, Sweet Sorbet, Mango Melody, Shaded Spruce, Balmy Blue, and Night of Navy. I think Mango Melody is making like a resurgence. It's in so many of our papers. I noticed it when we did Try It Club, and I kind of pointed that out. And then you have to use your designer series paper. You do not have to have the die cuts or the folder, because anything that we have that it has the folder or has the die cuts, I do for you. Now, that being said, like on today's project I'm going to show you, I'm going to use the stamps. If you have the die cuts because you ordered them, then you can use your die cuts to cut those out. Otherwise, if it can be hand cut, then you have to do it because we can't send stamped images. Then it also comes with this textured shimmer paper in this suite. This is in the Shaded Spruce, and so I will have run these through for you with one of the dies. So it has a folder. I may offer this as an add-on too. This is a cane weave. It's really, really pretty. I didn't end up putting it on this card. The card had too many things on it, and I started taking them off. I'm like, I can't put everything on the first project. So let me show you some of this. I'll show you what we're not using. I don't use punches in Club because they're too heavy to mail. Postage is already so expensive in Club, like so expensive. So expensive because I pay Stampin' Up! To get it to me, which is hundreds of dollars. And then I pay the post office to get it to you, which is hundreds of dollars. And if I added a punch for me to get it to you, we would do hundreds more dollars. So I've never done a punch as part of it. But if you're in Card Club and you want to add this, I may do a couple of alternate projects and use this. Really pretty, really fun. You can see this cuts it out, and it does obviously coordinate. This will work with the paper that you're going to get, and it punches out several of the designs of the paper. It's super fun, and I will use this, and I will use it in a video. If it wasn't Celebration, this always throws me for a loop. I would love to do a full week of just the Regency Park Suite. So I may skip. I have that thistle stamp sitting here, and I'm dying to use it, so I may do an alternate with it. But I still have the barn sitting here. I have so much stuff that I want to use. So many stamps, so little time. So that's one, because this is like a super sweet. So there's that. And then what we are using, we're going to use the Sentimental Park. That was the Petal Park, and this is the Sentimental Park. So it's got some really fun two-step stamping of flowers, and then the leaves, and then this fun little piece here, which I am going to use that, and then great words. I really, really, really like the words, and you will reach for them all of the time. And then if you can get just the stamps, or you don't have to get either, but you can get the bundle, and these dies are fabulous. So these are all the ones that I haven't even taken off and used at all yet. If you were in the Try It class, then you've already gotten this one. And it is not the one that I intended to use on today's card, but like I said, I started pulling stuff off because it was way too much stuff on one card. So this ended up being the one that not only did I use and Try It, but you're going to see it in a minute again on this card. And then here's the one that you're also going to see on this card, but you can tell it has all these fun little flowers. And then it has the one that I'm going to use in a minute to cut mine out, but you could easily fussy cut it. And then it also has these other two labels for all those great words that come in the set. And here's kind of how they work. There's this label here, and I did take all these off. And then there was this one here, and I was going to use them on the card. It was too busy. Even though it was kind of beautiful, it was too busy. But how they work is you can just use that, or you could just use this and use the bigger words, or you could stamp this in a color. See, it's just too busy. The bottom needed to be a solid color. So it may make an appearance in one of the other cards, not this design because too busy, but then this slides in here. And I think the bottom really needs to be a color, or this needs to be maybe a solid color and you emboss on it. Maybe in white if it was on navy, or, you know, one of our colors, to really get the full effect of the fact that you have done two on there. But I'm not going to emboss this month in Card Club because I want to use these inks because it's a two-step class. So let's get going on your first project. And make sure you're on my email list. Then you always know when Card Club deadline's coming up. Cards are always easy. And my goal for Card Club is not that you have 6 cards every month. It's that you learn something every month. So I try to teach you something, at least one thing every month. And then we also Zoom together. I can't find where I laid the piece of paper. Here it is. We Zoom together every 3 months, where I take all the past 3 months and I mix them all together. So you don't have to keep all the Regency Park stuff. We will use it with, what did we just use? With the By the Bay, which is always fun. Sometimes I'm like, not sure how that's all going to go together, but it does. And sometimes I mix things together and I'm like, well, that worked better than I ever anticipated that it would. So we're going to take Shaded Spruce for our background. And then I chose this, but then when I was flipping through my packet to get it back out, I almost switched to another piece. They're just such pretty pieces of paper in here. Obviously, this is 6 by 6, but we need it to be the front. So take your 6 by 6, and then we always keep our scrap pieces, because sometimes I do use the scrap pieces when it comes time for our Zoom class. I'm going to cut it to be 4 by 5 1/4, which this one doesn't have a great 5 1/4, and my other paper cutter is now buried under everything else. So we'll just hope for the best. It just cuts a little bit off. Maybe about that much. We'll see how that is. That's pretty good. And then this also needs to be 5 1/4. But it really just needs to be the same length as whatever this is. So I'm just going to do it this way. And then this is 2, obviously, because it's the extra 2 inches. And I don't need it to be that thick because I don't want to cover all of my flowers. So I'm going to do it 1. And then you can keep all those pieces. Now, if you have the folder, I would put this piece through the folder, but not everybody's going to have the folder. And I can't put this through the folder because you have cut it. yourself, but it would be really pretty through the folder. And we have some other folders like the settle that we've had in the past. We've had some other basket weaves that would work, but the one that's in this suite obviously matches this one really nicely. So let's take, like I said, I just pulled out the colors of ink. So if you're in Card Club, those are the colors that we'll use. I'm not going to use any colors except for maybe black. I didn't use black on this one, but the colors that are listed in the paper, those are the ones that we're going to use. So I'm going to two-step stamp this fun little image of flowers. I have shimmer white, and I have run the tiny little label in shimmer white, and then this is this scrap size piece of shimmer white. And if when you're in club, you have enough to do 2 of all the cards. I'm going to do this in petal pink. And you can do them 2 just as I did them, or you can save 1 and save the pieces for when we zoom. But sometimes in Zoom, I kind of mix them up, so you don't necessarily have to save them exact. And a lot of times if I reuse something extra, it tends to be like white or shimmer white or vanilla. This is Sweet Sorbet. Sometimes I say strawberry. I know that I do it, and later I'm like, I think I said strawberry. It's not. It just seems like, it looks like strawberry, and strawberry sorbet to me, I guess, sounds better than sweet sorbet. And just stamp right over the top. It is easier if you put your head right over the top, but I want you to see the stamp and not my head. Oh, well, that was pretty good. It's very, very easy, and you can always use your Stamparatus. And then if you don't buy the dies, just take your scissors and trim that out. If you do get the dies, then this die right here will cut them out. So I'll do that off camera in just a second. Then you're going to take your little label here. I wanted to get a birthday one, so I'm going to use Mango Melody, which I probably have not used this color for a couple of years. And now all of a sudden Stampin' Up's putting it in everything. So I have used it repeatedly over and over and over and over. Definitely this catalog, but in the annual as well. I'm getting ready to put my details up after this for my spring retreat, which is online. I don't even know why I call it that. I need a new name. It's just, I don't know what to call it. But I'm sure Mango will make a resurgence color in, be used in that class too. Here's the little piece that matches this. See, it's that little stamp that's in there that kind of looks like the cane. And so I'm going to use it in Balmy Blue, but I want it to not be the focal. I want the Happy Birthday Dear Friend to be the focal. So I'm going to put it on there and stamp off, and I'm just going to add a little bit across the top. Because if you see in here, it's Balmy Blue on navy. I'm just going to add a little bit there. Just kind of tie that in. So that's Balmy Blue. I almost used every color of ink. I think Shaded Spruce was maybe the only one I didn't use. Oh no, and I didn't use Petal Pink. I did use Petal Pink. I switched the colors because obviously when I did this, I used them all. And I used those new little blending brushes, which was kind of why I did that, and then I didn't like it. It was just too much going on that paper to even notice it. So there's our Happy Birthday Dear Friend. And with those stamps, you can have, there's anniversary, there's a baby, there's graduation, there's like retirement because it says your new adventure. I was going to do this one thinking of all of the wonderful things you do. There's just so many fun different sentiments that you can put on there. And then if you have the dies, you can also take more of these little flowers and do them in the colors of the paper, or you can use them because I didn't want to use, I started with the shimmer and I was going to do blends on them, and then I thought, no, I want to use these. That's where I went to the blending brushes. I had, like I said, too much going on, and I didn't want to do all of that to you guys. Now we're going to take this tiny little piece and we are going to build up from this. Oh, let me run those through. So see those run through, but if you don't have the dies, just cut them out. And if you cut them out, you can cut them so they're all not attached. You don't have to keep them together. Now I know I just dropped my scissors on the floor. Good thing stampers have 15 pairs of scissors. I know a lot of you don't like to tie bows, so I often try to come up with ways that you can get pretty ribbon on here and not tie a bow. So I do run the dies through you, but oftentimes you have to poke the things out. So what I want you to do is take this and you're going to kind of slide this in. See where the long part of that stem is? So just put this on here and go ahead and put your adhesive on. We're going to kind of work with this before we actually tape it down. So put your adhesive there and then flip this around. And you want your stem to go back there, but you don't want it to cover up your words. So kind of get it. And this paper and where that stem is, you can manipulate it to go the direction you want. So this might not be the way the paper is going, but it's a really thin stem. You don't want to tear it. I mean, you even could tear it if you wanted and kind of stretch that. It doesn't have to go the way that the paper itself is necessarily going. So if you're covering up your words by that, then just move it. See, I can move it and get it to go where I want it to go. Now you're going to take this and you're going to put this on here, and you need this piece here to be straight on what's going to be this here. So you can use this little grid paper and make sure that this is straight onto here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive right there. Now just lay this on here. It just needs to be kind of 2/3 towards the top. We can always move it if we need to. We do need to make sure that our flowers aren't going to go off the top of the card. So lay this on here and just make sure you're good. I'm going to kind of bend this when I need it. See how this paper will just go wherever we need it to go, and put my flowers there. So we're good. Now I want to get my ribbon on here, and we're going to kind of cut the ribbon up and deconstruct it just to have some fluff. So I'm going to take my ribbon, if I can find it on my messy, messy table. I have a whole spool of ribbon here, but that's not the one I want to use. Here it is. So this ribbon, remember I said it's really soft, and you can see it's got selvage that's kind of coming apart in there. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to do 2 loops. We're not going to tie any kind of a bow, and we are going to cut this all apart. So I'm going to put some more adhesive here. Just kind of here. And then I'm going to lay this so your loops are not overlapping each other. And then make sure it all touches somewhere. It doesn't matter where it's touching because, like I said, we're going to cut this apart. And that one's all the way hidden. We don't want that. So we need to make sure this comes more, not behind this strip of paper. Now I'm going to put some adhesive on my ribbon. You could use a glue dot. It might hold a little bit better, but I don't have any sitting out because I didn't get them out for this video. So I'm just going to make this work, but a glue dot would be a very good choice here. There we go. So now there's a bunch of adhesive. I'm going to flip this over. You can see all of our ribbon. And if you don't like the deconstructed look, you can manipulate these little bows here so they look good. It's just they're a little bit bouncy. These aren't as bouncy as my first ones were, though. It's just kind of how you get them on there. In fact, these are pretty good, so you could almost keep them, but I'm going to show you the deconstructed. I'm a fan of messy. My mom is not, if she's watching this. Neither is my husband. Like, I could have a cottage garden and just have... They think it looks weedy. I think it looks beautiful. Kind of wild. Keep that there. And then I'm just going to cut this apart. See, that immediately already makes it go a little flatter. And you could leave it like that. If you want this, you could do that. I'm going to take my scissors now and just cut kind of down the middle. And I did have my sharper pair of snips. You know, some of us have, anytime you use your scissors to cut paper, and especially when we have all of the shimmery and the glimmer papers, they get duller. So I intentionally found a sharper pair of snips to do this, and then they fell on the floor. And I didn't even think about it when I grabbed these. So we have this. And I'm just going to take this tip here, and this is the part where it gets a little deconstructed. I don't want it, it doesn't fray like some of our other ribbons. It might if you did it not like this. This is kind of tearing it. And it just kind of gives it a fun frayed look. It separates that middle selvage there in the middle. Oh, I said middle twice. I have restarted because the weather has been, it's 60 degrees and then it's 17 and then it's 58 and then it's 8. And that is horrible for my migraine. So I have started my strongest migraine medicine, which has awful side effects, and I hate it. But I was waking up every single solitary day fighting migraines. And that medicine messes with my words. Like horribly messes with my words, and it also makes my hands and my feet go numb. So having numb hands and not being able to speak is not good for business. So if sometimes I say things that don't make any sense, or I just go silent, that will be why. It does help my migraines. And so then I go a while and I'm like, these side effects are so bad, it's not worth it. And then I forget because I'm not having migraines, how bad my migraines are. So it is a trade-off. Okay. See, I kind of like that. My other one, I have a little bit more frayed because I pulled on it. And I think because those scissors are my sharpest, these scissors aren't as sharp. So I'll show you both and then you can decide how much you want it frayed. Pop this on here. And originally this was, I should have showed you, I had it on the Petal Pink. It really needed I think the spruce to kind of center this card. The Petal Pink just made it be a little bit, I don't know what the word is. See, I already lost the word. It was a little bit, the shaded spruce just kind of centered the whole thing. And it really made you notice the stem. That's not so much me not knowing a word, it's not knowing where my dimensionals are. Maybe I just put the wrong ones out because these are sitting where I normally have them. Use your large dimensionals. As part of Card Club, you can get an adhesive pack whenever you need it. You just add it on the months when you're running low. And it has, again, it's at catalog cost, so I pay your shipping, handling, and tax. But it's both sizes of dimensionals, fine tip glue, seal. I think that's it. So you can see I'm kind of bending this over, and I'm going to take this little stem right here and pop that up just like that. And then I don't want that sticking there, but I wanted those leaves to kind of be over and under. So I'm just going to trim that stem right where it needs to go. And then you have your adhesive backed Milky Dots. And they come in white. I'm not sure what color this is because it's not really in the paper. I meant to look. Let's see if it says on the back. It does not. We'll figure that out at some point. It looks like it's a purple, but there is not purple in this paper, and it is part of the suite. But I did use, let's use a gold, which may be marigold. And then I love the navy. I love a good bold embellishment. On the other one, I have 2 gold. On this one, I'm going to do 2 navy. And there's your first project for February. Here's the other one. And here, the only difference really is how much I shredded the ribbon. And it is because these scissors were far sharper. I kind of like it. It looks like spring. And my hay fever allergies does not look like stuff that's going to float through the air. But I mean, this is all a matter of preference. You can leave it looped. You can make it flat. You can leave it kind of like this. You can really shred it up, or you can just, you can tie a bow. At first I was going to tie a bow around this piece somewhere. Really, the ribbon is whatever you want to make it. So if you're interested in my card club, you can head to underneath this YouTube video. There will be a link. On Facebook, it will be, you can go back to YouTube and find the link under there. The best place is always in my email, because once club month starts, it'll be in a couple of emails heading up to the 10th. So there you go. And I will have, I'll have your alternate, and then I'm going to do a video that uses the punch set just so you can see that as well. And I may do an alternate, not just with the punch, but I may do an alternate. I'll see if I can make the thistle one work with this paper, because I really want to use that thistle set, and then that'll give me an excuse, because I do need to do your alternate. Everybody have a great day, and I'll catch you back here later soon. Bye.